She said I was different, then left like I wasn't. And if you've ever been the one someone swore was special, just to watch them treat you like a reusable water bottle after, then yeah, you already know what this is. Sit down or lay down. I don't know where you are right now, but I do know you're probably carrying something. Maybe it's fresh. Maybe it's 5 years old and still bleeding. Either way, let's talk about it. You ever notice how people will stare into your eyes like they're reading the last page of their favorite book and say, I've never met anyone like you, then ghost you like you were the background noise in their healing playlist? The disconnect is wild. One minute you're home, the next you're a closed tab. Like, how do we go from soulmates to strangers with a mild Instagram interaction history? And look, I'm not bitter. Okay, I'm a little bitter, but I'm also awake. That kind of awake that only heartbreak or really good therapy gives you. The kind where you finally stop lying to yourself and start asking, why the hell do I keep ending up here? Why do the people who see me always leave me? And why do I keep letting it mean something about me? The truth is, she didn't lie when she said I was different. I am different. She just couldn't handle it. Or maybe she could, but chose not to. And that's the part nobody tells you. That being different doesn't guarantee love. It just guarantees you'll be remembered when they're lying to the next person saying the same damn line. You ever meet someone who makes you feel like maybe, just maybe, you're not that hard to love after all? Like all the stuff you overthink suddenly makes sense to someone. They text back fast, they show up, they say the deep stuff without flinching, and you're like, oh my God, am I safe? And then, boom, they disappear like an Uber rating after a silent ride. People say, it's not you, it's them. And sure, sometimes that's true. But what they don't say is how their mess can still cut you open. Like, yeah, it's not my fault she left, but it still feels like my skin's on inside out. It still feels like rejection. Even if they were rejecting their own capacity to love, the math don't math when your heart's involved. And listen, some people don't leave you because you were lacking. They leave because you made them feel too much. You mirrored parts of them they weren't ready to see. That's the curse of being the deep one, the real one, the one who listens too closely and loves too loudly. You get remembered, but not always kept. I know someone just thought of a name right now. Yep, that one. There's this thing people do where they fall in love with your light, but forget that light comes with heat. Everyone wants warmth until they realize it can burn. She said I was different, and I am. But she was looking for decoration, not transformation. She didn't want a partner, she wanted peace, and didn't realize love isn't peace. It's war with your ego. It's surrender and chaos and choosing someone even when your trauma's throwing hands in the background. But let me be real with you. Sometimes we leave too. Not physically, but emotionally. We start shrinking to fit. We get quiet. We overfunction. We become emotional service animals for people who don't even know how to feed us, all because we want to be chosen. And then we wonder why it still ends up feeling hollow. And if you're sitting there thinking, damn, maybe I was too much, let me tell you something. You weren't too much. You were too awake for someone still trying to sleep through their own alarm. That's not your fault. That's just the tragedy of timing and self-work. You know what's crazy? She said I was different, and at the time, I believed her. But what I didn't realize was that she meant different, like a sunset, something you admire and then walk away from. She didn't want to stay in the dark. She just wanted a pretty view before the night hit. You ever feel like you were someone's almost? Like they almost healed, almost stayed, almost saw you right, but just not enough to choose you fully? That's a special kind of pain because it leaves you haunted by potential. You're not grieving what was. You're grieving what could have been if they had just done the work. And yo, this might sting, but some people fall for the way you make them feel, not for who you are. That's why they leave confused. Because once the high wears off, they realize they didn't actually know you. They just knew the version of themselves they liked when they were around you. Yeah, Let that one sit. And I get it. It's easy to spiral, to start thinking, if I was really that special, they would have stayed. But special doesn't mean safe, and not everyone is built to love what's real. Some people only know how to hold plastic until something genuine cuts their hand open. And you know what hurts worse than heartbreak? Hope. Hope that they'll text, that they'll come back, that maybe they just needed time. And sometimes they do come back, but it's never the same because you already saw the exit wound, and no amount of "I miss you" stitches it clean. But if you're in that place right now where you feel like someone saw the best in you and still walked away, I need you to understand this. You weren't loved poorly because you're unlovable. You were loved poorly because they didn't know how to hold something that didn't require fixing. You ever notice how the people who break you often come with a warning label disguised as charm? Like, "I'm just a little messed up." And you're like, "Ah, same." Meanwhile, your intuition's screaming in Morse code, and you're too busy picking Spotify songs to hear it. That's how it gets you. The false intimacy, the trauma bonding, the shared playlists, and I've never told anyone this before conversations that make you think it's real. It was real. But real doesn't always mean forever. And that's a hard pill to swallow when your heart was all in. And while we're being honest, sometimes the heartbreak ain't about them leaving. It's about you realizing how much of yourself you gave without getting half of it back. It's about the silence that comes after love songs stop applying. It's about watching someone water other gardens with the same care they refuse to give you. But don't let that make you hard, please. That's the real trap. Letting pain turn you cold. Becoming unbothered as a personality trait when deep down you're screaming into the pillow at 3 a.m. We don't need more numb people. We need more people who feel and still choose to show up soft. You know what's wild? After she left, I started noticing all the ways I tried to earn love. Like it was a prize instead of a mutual exchange. I'd over-explain, over-deliver, overstay. I was treating love like a job application with no HR department. And then I wondered why I kept getting laid off emotionally. We don't talk about this enough, but healing isn't about getting over them. It's about getting back to you. The you that doesn't need to be understood to be worthy. The you that laughs too loud, loves too big, and doesn't apologize for taking up space. And if this hits, if this whole story feels like your diary read out loud, maybe you're not alone in this. Maybe this pain you're carrying isn't yours to hold forever. Maybe it's just a signal that you're growing out of old patterns, that you're finally ready to be loved in a way that doesn't confuse you or cost you your peace. So yeah, she said I was different, and she was right, I am different. But I'm done trying to prove it to people who only want proof when it's convenient. I'm done auditioning for hearts that haven't even learned their lines. If this feels like a chapter you've read before, maybe it's time to close the book. Or maybe just start writing a new one, with characters who stay, plot lines that make sense, and a main character who finally knows their worth without needing someone else to narrate it. And hey, if you're still here, still listening, maybe you were meant to hear this tonight. Maybe this wasn't random. Maybe you're not crazy for loving deep, for believing people when they say, "I'll never leave." Maybe the story isn't over yet. Maybe it's just getting real.